Rome. The Roman Empire is my favorite topic because the architectural features and religious facts fascinated me and amazed me.
The Roman Empire was most interesting to me because it was our first violent entertainment.
The Roman Empire was my favorite topic because of the architecture and the ways that they designed the buildings.
Rome was my favorite topic because the architecture really intrigued me, and I found that the Colosseum was really, really interesting in how they held the gladiator games there.
Okay, Rome was interesting to me because people wasted their money on food for the gladiator games.
Rome was interesting to me from the lifestyle, how the gladiators were, and how they fought and how they lived.
I choose Rome for my interest topic because I like the paintings, the architecture buildings, and the gladiator games.
Rome was my favorite because it was interesting to see how the rich people would go to parties, eat food, and throw up just to make more room for them to eat.
Rome was my favorite topic this year because I loved how the emperor had the most power over everyone in the city.
Islam.
I thought Islam was the most interesting topic for me because I already have some background knowledge of it, and I thought it was fun learning about the 5 pillars and how Muhammad got his messages from God.
My favorite topic is China because it teach me the things I didn't learn before.
Japan. The reason I chose Japan is because I got to learn the way of the samurai and the Bushido Code.
I really like the Japan subject because I got to learn a lot about the culture and the art, which I really enjoyed.
I really liked learning about Japan because it was really cool learning about the samurai because they were in really fierce battles. And I also love the art in Japan because it showed the greatness in nature.
I enjoyed learning about Japan because of its great art and culture and how the samurai fought and how they were fierce.
Medieval Europe. Medieval Europe was important to me because I got to learn about the Black Death.
Medieval Europe was interesting because we got to learn about the effects of the Black Death.
Medieval Europe was an interesting topic because it showed how the knights had courage to fight for their country.
The topic that I'm interested at is medieval Europe because it teaches me the way that they live.
Medieval Europe was an interesting topic because we got to learn about the effects of the Black Death.
Medieval Europe was the most interesting topic because we got to learn about feudal society and man life.
The most interesting topic I learned this year in history was how medieval Europe and Japan were so alike in many ways, but they were so far apart in the world.
Renaissance, because it was cool to learn about artists like Leonardo da Vinci.
I like the Renaissance because their artwork was detailed and realistic.
The Renaissance was my favorite topic because the artists were concentrated on their work and studied human bones. I like the Renaissance because it was very realistic and everybody was focused on what they were doing.
I like the Renaissance because they made amazing artists and writers.
I chose the Renaissance because of the artwork.
The Renaissance was the most interesting because they had one of the most famous artists like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci.
Reformation. Reformation was more interesting to me because I liked how Martin Luther wrote the 95 Theses and tried to change the Christian church to a better church.
It was the most interesting because I really liked how Martin Luther stood up for the Catholic Church.
Reformation was interesting because I like how Martin Luther used the 95 Theses to stand up to the Catholic Church.
I chose Reformation because I like how Martin Luther used the 95 Theses to stand up to change for what he believed in.